Hello and welcome back to Let's Learn Linux with PSIRDEMATICA. So in this video we would be looking at some basic terminal commands. In the previous video we looked at some terminologies involved or associated with the use of Linux, and in this video we'll look at some basic terminal commands. We would look at why it is necessary for us to learn the terminal way, and then also learn some basic but important terminal commands which can help save time and other stuffs. So without wasting much time, let's learn Linux. Okay, so the first thing is why the terminal. So why should we use the terminal, or why is it important for us to learn how to use the terminal? The terminal is more powerful, right? Which means that it enables you to perform multiple tasks at the same time. So activities or tasks that it will take 5 or 6 mouse clicks to perform, the terminal can do with just one line, right? As you would see or you find out in the subsequent videos. And then the terminal will always be there. So as we said in the previous video, we said that the Linux came with a terminal. So the earlier Linux machines just came with the terminal or the console. So you access everything with the console. It is later that they added the graphical desktop environment to it. So which means that the terminal will always be there. So if they decide one day that no, the graphical desktop is slowing the system down, we want to go back, then you'll be more privileged to still continue using it if you learn the terminal way. Also, we could also use the terminal to connect to other Linux servers, so other machines, over a secure shell. What this means is that if you are running a simulation or you are running a program or your machine, but then you realize that your hardware or your machine hardware isn't that high for you to run this program, you can use a terminal, or you can connect to other servers or other machines through SSA, that's a secure shell, and then run your algorithm or your simulation or your code on those other machines, thereby leveraging the computing power of the other machines. So basically this is why it's important to learn the terminal way. Okay, so these are some of the terminal commands we'll be looking at: the ls, the mkdir, the cd, the pwd, and a whole lot. So without wasting much time, let's dive deep. So the first command we would be looking at is the ls command, right? We said the ls stands for list. So it is used to list the directory contents, so the contents of the directory. So we said in the previous video that you have files and directories, right? Basically everything in Linux is a file, but then the container for files is a directory. So if you want to see the contents of a directory, you use the ls command. This will tell you what the stuff's inside the directory. Okay, you could also use the ls-a. So in Linux, if you see dash before any letter or alphabet, it means an option. So you can use the a option with the ls command to list all the contents in the directory, including hidden directories. So it's possible that there could be some directories inside your directory, right? So there could be some folders inside your current folder that are hidden. So if you use the -a to reveal all those ones for you, and then the -l option, so we'll also output a long list to give you more details about the files or the subdirectories inside your current directory you are looking at. And then you can decide to combine these two options in different ways, and then it will still perform the same task that it does. And then you can add the T that would we would group the thing according to the time it was last modified. So let's switch to our terminal and look at and practice some. So first we said that ls will tell us or will list the contents of our directory. So as you could see, we see devs and a whole lot of things here, and ls-a would do what? List the contents including the hidden files. So you see that the ls just listed some few files, but then -a listed a whole lot more. So now in Linux, hidden files start or begin with dots. So if you see any dots, the white ones are files, the blue ones here are directories or folders. So dots starting with anything will make it hidden in Linux. So which means that all these dots are being shown using the A option. And then you could also use ls-l for a long list, right? So the long list, so it shows you the long list of the contents of the directory. We'll tackle more of this in the subsequent videos. And then you could also do ls-la, right, or al, it doesn't matter the order, and then it will show you everything, the long list including the hidden files and directories inside the current folder. And we could also do ls-alt, right, and then r. So alt will arrange it, will create a long list including hidden files and then arrange them according to the time it was last modified. So you realize that the last option here was last modified in 2021, while the first one here was currently modified. So the T option includes the time, and then the last one, that's the R, right, would reverse, will repeat the same thing, but then this time around it puts the current one beneath it, unlike the first one that it places the current one on top of it. So basically that's how we use the ls command. And then if you want to learn more, you can just type the man and then the ls command to learn more. The next command we'll be looking at is the make directory, the mkdir command. So as said, the mkdir stands for make directory. So this command creates a new folder for you, right? So it creates a directory for you, and then to use this you would have to use a command, and then follow after the command you add the names of the directory you want to provide it or you want to create, and to create that directory for you you could pass it several names and then it will do the same thing for you. Now you can add the option P to create a parent directory. That's if you want to create probably multiple folders in a folder, but then the parent or the folder, the external folder isn't present, the -p option will do that for you. So looking at that, we said that if I do mkdir, so first let me switch to somewhere. If I list, there's nothing. If I list -a, I see that there are just two dots and then dot. We'll talk about this later. So here I can now make a directory called maybe school, right, and then check it. Now it's there, right? Now I want to create another directory, right, but then this time around I want to create a directory called maybe class inside school, right? Now school already exists, so you can easily put class inside school. But then what if I want to create a directory called hello or greetings, right? Greetings, but then I want to put the hello greeting inside a new directory, the directory called greetings, right? So I'm creating a directory. The main focus is hello. The directory I want to create is hello, but then I want to put a hello inside this directory greeting. If I should go about it this way, it tells me that cannot create directory because there's no such file or directory. So it means that greetings doesn't exist. So what I can do is that I can come back here and then add the P option, right? So this will create the parent directory greetings and then put the hello inside it. So sorry, let's see, option, okay, so that's from here, enter. So now, so I'm saying that create the parent directory. So dot from where I am, create greetings, and then inside the greetings put hello inside. So if we want to check, we can do greetings and then check inside greetings. We see that there's hello, and when we check the current one, we see that there's greetings and then there's school. So basically we can see that. So that's for creating directories. And the next command we'll look at is the pwd command, right, which stands for print working directory, right? And what this does is that it shows us where we are. Basically everything is so the position, you would have to be in a certain directory, right? And then if you want to know where you are, you would have to print the current working directory to get the path, right, to where you are. So that is used to print the current working directory path to screen. So it gives you the path to where you are. Basically that's that. And it is used to know one's position in the terminal, right? So if I'm here and I want to know where I am, I'll just do pwd, and then this is a long path from home. I'm in the user setting, I'm in the folder called SIRDEMATICA, and then I'm in another folder called L3. I can come here and also do pwd, and then it will give me the same thing. So basically pwd just returns the path of where you are, and then you can easily copy it and then use it for other things. The next command we'll look at is the cd command, right? So this command stands for change directory. So now we've been able to create a directory, right? And then we've been able to know the path to the directory which we've created, or the directory in which we are. Now the next thing we want to do is to be able to change, right, move from that directory into the new directory we've created, and the cd does that for us. So it is used to change the current working directory. So if you want to move from the current working directory into a new directory, you can just do that. And then it is used to move back and forth, right, within folders. So if you want to move within folders, you can use a cd to also do that. So we use a cd followed by the path that you want to go to. So basically right, so now when we check, we have greetings and then school. So if I print my current working directory, you realize I'm just in L3 here, right? Now I want to move to greetings so that I can access the hello inside there. So all I have to do, I do cd dot / where greetings, right? So greetings, and then when I enter, I'm inside greetings. When I do the pwd, now you see that it's in the L3 and then greetings directory, right? And I do ls, then we see that we have the hello directory that we created earlier inside the greetings directory. So basically we have that, and if you do ls-l, a long list will be printed with just the content of that. So we could also do cd and then move about, so cd, and then move some step backwards, and then we are back to the error. When we list, we have that. So basically we use a cd to just move back and forth to find our way around. So if you find yourself in the terminal and you want to move into folders, you have to use the cd command. That's the change directory command. Okay, so the next command we'll look at is the touch command, right? So now we've been able to create folders or directories, and then we've been able to view the contents of these directories, and then move from the previous directory into the new directory we've created. Now we want to create files, right, inside the directories. So we use the touch command, right, to create files with any extension at all. Bear in mind that the extension is just to help the user to know the type of file you've created. So basically we use the touch command to create files. So we can use the touch command to create multiple files at the same time or simultaneously. And then to use the touch command, you follow it to the file names, right? The file names that you want. So example is touch, and then they have the file name, right? So touch the file name, so file 1, file 2, file 3. So let's check that. Okay, so I want to go into greetings, right? And then greetings, and then inside the hello, right? And then create some files inside that. So I want to say good or hello.txt, right? And then hey.txt, and then index.py. So basically we saw that after putting the touch command, the name of the file, so the first file will be hello.txt, the next file will be hey, the next file will be the index. When I hit enter and I do the ls, you see that 3 files have been created. So the touch command can easily create multiple files. So if you want 20 files, you can just pass all the 20 file names here, and then they'll all be created for us. So basically that's how we use the touch command. Okay, so the next command we'll look at is the cat, right? So now we've been able to create the file, right? Then assuming there is a content, right, there is something inside the file, how do we show the content of the file? So before then, let's look at how you can just open your file you created with any text editor of your choice, and then populate it with some text, and then view the contents of that. So that's what the cat does. The cat stands for concatenate, right? And then it is used to show the content of a file or files. So either you use it to show the content of just one file, or you can use it to show the content of multiple files in a terminal. So it displays them to screen in the terminal for you to see. Basically that's what the concatenate does. So it is used to view contents of several files simultaneously. And then so let's see. So right now I want to use my favorite text editor to just edit put something inside. So let's say hello there, how are you doing today, right? Just simple. And then so if I want to see the content of that file, I'll just do cat and then hello.text, and then we see that we have the hello there, how are you doing today there. So what if I decide to do for hey, right? And then I populate it, hey you, how are you doing, how are you holding up, right? So something like that. Now I can use a cat, right, to view. So let's check the hey, and then we see that hey you, how are you holding up? So I can use a cat, that's a concatenate, to view the two files simultaneously, and then hey, like that. And then you see that yes, we first have the hello there, how are you doing today? And then the next file, hey you, how are you holding up, right? So basically you can use a cat to open several files simultaneously. So you have some files on your machines and then you want to have an idea of the content of that file, you can just use the cat command to do that. This has saved us more time rather than clicking multiple files to view the content. Okay, so yeah, so for that right now, the next command we'll look at is the echo command. So the echo command displays arguments to screen, and then it also displays the content of variables. So echo, so its equivalent in other programming language will be print. So like Python and there's that you have to do print echo, giving it anything, right, will just print the hello world or whatever you give it to screen. But if you don't want that, you want it to print the content of a variable, so let's say path, right, it shows you everything inside your path variable. So you can use echo to print the content of the old pwd. This is a variable holding our previous directory that we came from into this. So when you do that, it shows you that. So basically echo can display the arguments a variable is holding, or print something to screen for you to see. So basically we use echo for that. And then now we've been able to create directories, cd into them, and then after moving into them, we've been able to create some files in them and then view the contents of the files. Right now, assuming we are done, we want to clear the terminal, or you've seen me done it several times, and then you want to close the terminal. So what do you do? So that's the exit command. So the exit command exits the shell or the current section, right? So either it closes the terminal or it logs you out of the section in which you are, if you are connected online to an online server. And the clear just clears the screen up for you to add more things. Since as you keep typing, the screen becomes populated and then you find it difficult to view the commands. So the shortcuts, some shortcuts are Control plus L and then Control plus D. So Control plus L will easily clear the screen, while Control plus D will end the terminal section for you. So looking at that, I can do clear, right? Clear, and then to clear the screen. But then I could also say okay, so now the screen is populated, so I could also decide to use Control L and then it clears it. But then the problem with Control L is that Control L just gives you or creates a bigger space for you to just have an ample space for you to work with. So it doesn't really clear the screen, but it pushes the previous stuff up. That's what the Control L does. And then if you want to log out, you can just type the exit, right? So let's say I want to log out from this one, I can do exit, and then it logs out. It takes me out of that. So basically that's the for the control section, the exiting and then the clearing of the screen. Now these are commands, and then I spoke about some options, right, that you could use. The question is, how do you know the options that comes with certain commands? That's when the man command comes in. So right, the man stands for manual, and then so if you use the man command, what it does is that it displays the manual of any command that you placed after it. So if you do man and then maybe ls, you see that it will give you the manual of ls, how you can use it, the possible options that you can use the ls command with, and a whole lot of stuff. So let's see. If I do man, right, ls, you see that it shows me the command, right? So that's the ls, that's the list directory content, and then the synopsis, how you can use it. So ls with the option and then the file you want, right? And then the description, it gives you everything. So you can use space to move page by page, right? Or use enter to move line by line inside the manual. So when you are fed up or you are done with whatever you're looking for, you can just hit Q on your keyboard to exit or to get out of the manual. So basically you can use the manual to learn a lot about other commands, provided you know the name of the command you are looking for. So before we end today's section or this video, I just want to show you, since I made mention of the fact that we can actually create or log in into our system, a virtual system, using the secure shell. So I want to log in into my Ubuntu system. I'll copy my Ubuntu ID now, and then create. Okay, so I then SSH, that's a secure shell. Let me zoom in well. So secure shell, and then my username, right, at then the IP of my system. So mostly the IP would be the system or the IP of the server. This could be a website address, this could be anything, but just make sure that you have that. But before then, make sure that the system is online, right, before you try this. So in order to make sure that the system is online, you can do what? Ping the system, right? So just ping the IP and ensure that it's online. So you see that yes, this is responding very well. If I should interrupt this, it tells me that the packets transmitted 7 received 0 losses, which means that the system or this IP is online, so I can communicate with it properly. So now that we know it's online, let's try and see whether we can communicate with it or we can log in and then use it. So when you do this, it will demand for the user password, and then you enter the password, and then boom, I'm here. So even though I'm on my Chromebook, recording on my Chromebook or using the Linux on it, I can still access the Linux environment on my Ubuntu. How awesome that is. And then this, I can do my ls here, and I see the contents of the files there. I can clear the screen, I can do cd and then move to any directory I want, and then do ls -l -altr, do any of the commands you studied, right? Make directory, right? Hello, right? And then even touch some files into the directory. So you can do a lot of things, right? You can do a lot of things, and we see that the new files we created are here. They're all here, lo.tt, and a whole lot. So yes, interestingly, you could see that, and then check my Python 3 version, right? And then I can even create some scripts and then print on my Ubuntu while I'm on my Linux, on my Chromebook. So which means that what? Learning the terminal way would go a long way to help us, right? Oh, print capital, so small. Yeah, so There are several things you can do with a terminal, and just logging in to a different machine and then leveraging the power of that machine through the terminal is one key reasons why you should learn the terminal way. So in the next video, would look at how to handle files, right? So create files, edit files, and every command related to files. Not every, sorry, but the most commands that you would need while trying to deal with files in a terminal. I'll see you there. Thank you.